Hey, so welcome back. The angle's a bit weird because I'm trying to make sure that you can see the cookies at the same time because that's the fun part, let's be honest. So I'm trying to slouch down, but one of my friends is coming by tomorrow and I thought it would be nice to like decorate some cookies to give to her, especially because she like dropped off some food that's like some of my favourite food with her sister and like icons, so I thought I'd want to make something to like give back, even though it's probably going to turn out like a load of crap. But yeah, so I've done some practice ones which I'm not going to show you because they're practice ones for a reason, but I've got some like different like full shades of royal icing. This is also the first time I've actually made royal icing. I normally just make the like water and icing sugar one, but I've just like used a couple of different colours. I've got some yellow as well, I haven't put it in a piping bag yet though, and I've got some glitter spray because it's what cookies need. I want to talk about a few books that haven't like, I feel like I haven't given them the time of day yet that I've read recently, and like I want to talk about them, so let's do it. That I haven't really spoken about, but I loved, like loved, was Vicious by V. Schwab, and oh, it's just beautiful, like amazing. As soon as I think when I was like 50 pages in, I recommended it to about 3 people. It revolves around 2 men, and well, it starts when they were at uni and like flashes forward to the future when one of them's just gotten out of prison, and like at one point when they were in uni they were really good friends, and then when it flashes forward they're really not friends, and like it walks you through the whole thing, but it's written so beautifully, so the characters are so well fleshed out. It follows them trying to create extraordinaries, or I can't remember the exact term, but basically mutants, but they find that in this version of it they can be created by near-death experiences, and you have yourself questioning what you should be wanting to happen in this book. Chapters are like kind of split into, like you flip back and forth between the 2 timelines, so between university timeline and like the present day. And it's really amazing, and also the powers that they have are really interesting. They're not like the usual kind of superpowers that come across. But yeah, I'm excited / nervous. Oh no, this is going to poo. Yeah, so that was great. That is the next one that I've done. I'm a bit anxious to hold it upright. So it's a pumpkin with like drapey vines. But I'm gonna leave it to sit for a second and then I'll go out and like outline it. This is great. I feel like I'm really like living out my like as a kid, you know, they had those, well actually I still do, let's not pretend, those like fantasies where you're playing in the kitchen or whatever, or doing your makeup and you pretend that you're on a cooking show or a makeup show. I don't know what a makeup show would be, but that is, I feel like I'm really getting to live that out. So August I read The Feminine Gospels by Carol Ann Duffy, and this was a gift from my cousin. Thank you so much. It was incredible. Carol Ann Duffy hadn't been on my radar before. She's a poet, well in this instance I think she's also written a novel, but she's absolutely incredible. Like it was so beautifully written, and obviously by the title of the collection of works you can guess that it would be about kind of what it means to be a woman, feminism, like yeah, and it was so stunningly written. I read them all, I think I read them basically in one sitting, but yeah, it was amazing. My favourites were The Laughter of Stafford Girls School or High, yeah, Stafford Girls High, and it was just amazing. It was so funny, and it was also like just so eloquently written, and it was such a beautiful message for like the spreading of like feminism and the way that it liberates women, and like the spreading of this laughter. And we got to see how it impacted the teachers as well, and how they'd been kind of like repressed by their boss a bit, well not like, you know, but she'd kind of been holding them back by holding them to very like curt standards, and you got to see this liberation of the characters. Okay, I've just put some yellow in, so I think I might do a flower, because like a sunflower. Yeah, so that was stunning. And my other favourites were The Map Woman and Beautiful. They were like continuation of the same story, and it was this really stunning like personification of a woman, but through like the way that she almost was freed and liberated through nature. And like you got to, like, she talks about her floating away home through the clouds, and it was just so beautifully written. So definitely recommend her, she's great. I need to read the rest of her stuff, so thank you Ez for getting me onto those. Also read White Fragility in August. This book, like, it was just amazing, and it's really stuck with me. Every white person should read it because it was just so important and so well written. Taboo because of white fragility and because of white sensitivity, and we need to grow a thicker skin and actually like talk to people about it and say, like, you know, if there's anything I've done that has offended you, that, or like that was racist, that I didn't know, like I didn't think of as, I don't know if that makes sense, but like to tell me so that I know not to do it again and I can make like amends. So important. What this book taught me that was the most important thing was that you can't claim to not be racist in this society, because no one truly is, because it's so like deeply ingrained. You have to like work so hard at every day to make sure that we try and break this chain, so to make sure we do break this chain of racism and like oppression and death and murder, and like it's just, yeah. And I read The Princess Bride by William Goldberg. I don't know. But well, it's not by him, but it's edited by him from, oh, I can't remember the name of the author, but the original guy who wrote it. My parents had got me the Folio Society edition of it. Oh, beautiful, absolutely stunning. Their books are chef's kiss. But yeah, so I had a pretty copy as well, which always makes the experience better. The intro, because it held a lot of like kind of behind the scenes stories from filming the film, and like the stories of him with the actors and like how he chose each of the actors to play. Like it was really cool. But the one thing, like, I don't know if it's just me, when I read the introduction, so William Goldman, he like mentioned several times that his son was really fat and was like fat shaming his son, and I was like that really kind of put me off of him, and I was like, okay, I'm not really here for that at all. Meant that I kind of didn't want to award any of the stuff in the story that I liked to him because I was just like, no, you're a cock. But it was interesting to read and to kind of understand him a bit more as a person, and it was also really interesting to know that he, when he was a kid, his dad read the story to him originally when he was sick with pneumonia. So just like in the film, when it starts out with the kid in bed and his grandpa comes and reads him the book, it was really cool to know that and to be like, oh my god, that's actually, like, that actually happened. If you've seen the film, you know that it's very much like, it's got some very tongue-in-cheek moments, and the characters are very much exuberant and like very overplayed in some ways, and like the dialogue that they have when they interact with each other, it has this, I don't know how to, sarcastic style humour, and it's just such a cool story. Like, I'm gonna whip out the glitter spray now. Okay, I'm a bit scared by this. Oh, it's like a pump. Hold on, let me show you. Okay, so this is the cookie, this is the glitter pump, and it's quite a slow pump. Let's get some good, oh, look at that. Let me show you in the light properly. Oh, sparkly. Yeah, cool, I'm happy. Read Crooked Kingdom. Oh my god. So Crooked Kingdom is the second book in the Six of Crows series, and it was, I'm still like reeling from it, and I read it like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it was amazing. I read the first book. It's about 5 characters, 6 characters, I think. Yeah, they're a group of people who are kind of doing this heist, but it's set in a world called Ketterdam, and it's part of Bardugo's, yeah, what's it called, Grishaverse. And I read some of the other books in the Grishaverse. They weren't my favourite. I'm not going to get into that because I don't want to start a war. They kind of go on this quest, and it's a really, like, it's one of those quests where it's not like there's one main heist at the end or anything, or like one main event. There are several layers to it, so it means you're constantly kept on your toes. There's constantly something going on, and like another battle to be fought, which was awesome. And the second book did not disappoint. I found it a little bit, like, at points I found it that I wasn't as, like, quite as crazy invested as I had been with the first book, but I mean, it wasn't like it was bad or anything. So I read that, and the ending, if you read it, you know what I mean. The ending of the second book, I have some words to have with her. My heart. It was amazing. Like, it just, it's so beautifully written. Her writing, I can't, it was stunning. Then I finished Daughter of Smoke and Bone series by Laini Taylor, and so I finished it and I read all of them, and it was good. I don't know how I feel about this. I literally finished it like yesterday, and it wasn't like it was bad or anything. It was just, it felt like one of those situations where the stuff that happened in the last book, it could have been she could have fit it into the second book, and it kind of, like, we spent 400 pages on one thing basically, and I was a bit like, and I don't know, it's like, it's not even like I'm particularly bad for, like, I like books where it's kind of an insane amount of description and like really takes its time with it, like Name of the Wind. I'm really excited to get into the Assassin's Apprentice books, so it's not even that, it was just something with it just didn't quite click. I love her characters though, and the relationship she builds. Oh my god, so emotional. And also, it was like the grand finale, and I felt like it lacked a bit of battle. Like, I mean, there was battle, but it was kind of, the way it was done wasn't like we were there. That's how it felt to me. Like, I like a battle. It was still good. I think I gave it 3 stars though. The other two, I think that was what made it feel so like weighed down, this last one, was because the first two I sped through and absolutely adored them. I think they got 5 and 4 stars or something like that. So it wasn't terrible, and I definitely read anything else she did in that series, and obviously other books, because I'm really excited to read Strange the Dreamer. But it just wasn't, it wasn't quite it for me. I think that's all the cookie decorating I'm going to do now, because I'm tired. That is a pretty good catch up of the books I've read recently. But yeah, this was fun, at least for me. So I'll show you a quick clip of the cookies now that they're done. Sorry about the building stuff. Okay, let's just say it's clear that I'm no Nigella, but these are the cookies. They're pretty, I'm not too mad at it, especially because it's my first time working with royal icing. I think I need to loosen it up a bit next time, like add some more water so I have some flood icing so that I can do things like fill in the basing for it. But I'm pretty happy with them. That's it for the video. I hope it was interesting. I don't know if it was, but I found it fun. I needed to talk about it, about books, you know, what else could I do? But yeah, I hope you stick around. If you like this video, make sure to like, leave a comment if you want to, or if I made any mistakes, which I probably did, and subscribe because it's fun. But yeah, no, it was nice to see you guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye.